Peace be with you. Dear friends, welcome to Living Flame Daily Gospel Reflections for Monday in the second week of Lent. Gospel according to Luke chapter 6 verses 36 to 38. In these three verses, Jesus gives us so many recommendations for our daily life. Jesus said to his disciples, "Be merciful just as your Father is merciful." So mercy is a great virtue. Blessed are the merciful, mercy will be shown to them. That is one of the beatitudes of Jesus. So when Jesus says, "Be merciful, just as your Father is merciful," we can understand how Jesus approached the sinners. So he was filled with mercy. We can recall to mind several occasions when Jesus was with so-called sinners, the Samaritan woman, the tax collectors, the woman caught in adultery, the woman at the feet of Jesus anointing his feet with her tears. So Jesus' mercy was abundant. And his beautiful parables, the father of the prodigal son, the lost coin, the parable of the lost sheep. So all these indicate the merciful Father. So Jesus is the face of the Father. So the one who has seen Jesus has seen the Father. So one who has seen the mercy of Jesus has seen the mercy of God, the Father. And then Jesus says, the second important thing, do not judge and you will not be judged. Dear friends, in our daily lives, we always try to judge others. The way we look at others, immediately a thought triggers in our mind. Even when we do not know a person, that particular appearance triggers certain kinds of thoughts in our mind. That means we have already begun the process of judging the other person. So what Jesus says, do not judge that you may not be judged. So if you are free of judgments, you will not be judged by God. So that means your approach to people will be the same approach God will be approaching you. And then Jesus says, do not condemn and you will not be condemned. We all are afraid of condemnation. So what will happen when we appear before God? The best way to get rid of that particular punishment of condemnation, we stop condemning others. Very easy. But then in our practical daily life, perhaps it is going to be difficult because we have perhaps inherited this tendency of condemning from our childhood day onwards. Now Jesus says, forgive and you will be forgiven. Forgiveness is a great gift that we experience from God. The word for giving, forgive, it is forgiving. I do not deserve it, but I get it from God. The gift of forgiveness. That's why Jesus says, forgive and you will be forgiven. If you forgive, God will forgive you. And then being generous in our lives. Give and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, will be put into your lap. So when we are generous, God will be generous to us. So here there are these few words. A good measure, pressed down. A good measure, pressed down. That means in that particular measure, it will be pressed. It will be intense. The quantity will be solid, shaken together, running over, will be put into your lap. If you give frugally, you will receive frugally. For the measure you give will be the measure you get back. Therefore, dear friends, today this gospel will certainly inspire us. So many things to consider in this gospel for our daily living and experience. When we look at Christ, we can just understand how rich He was in dealing with humanity. So it is being merciful, not judging, not condemning, forgiving, and giving generously. God bless.